Weird and Wonderful series. It's a weird finish, but is it a wonderful finish? Arran Cote-Rotie Cask finish. Hello and welcome to Whiskey Whims with me, Stuart. This is actually my fourth time recording this video, and hopefully it works this time. So the first three times it didn't. So continuing on with the Weird and Wonderful series, we have this Arran whiskey. We're trying to focus on whiskies that aren't exclusively matured in sherry or bourbon. So this is finished in Cote-Rotie Casks, which is a red wine from the Rhone Valley, which is almost certain it's got to be France. French. It's got to be from France, as Cote-Rotie and red wine. It's got to be. So I hope I'm saying Cote-Rotie right. This is my first Arran whiskey, so we'll go into a little bit of history about Arran before we talk about the whiskey. In the 1800s, the island was full of stills creating whiskey, whether these were legal or not. Probably the majority of them were illegal, and a lot of them got shut down due to the fact that the island was prioritising quantity over quality, and they couldn't keep up with the economics of the other distilleries who were producing a lot better whiskies at the time. I think Lags was the last one to survive, but due to poor management, it also closed down. By 1994, they started looking out for a suitable location for distillery, for Arran Distillery, which was, they ended up finding La Cranza. And due to the water source, the area in general was just perfect for building a distillery on. So they started building the distillery in 1994. The first spirit started running through the distills in 1995, which is the year of my birth, and I feel a bit of a connection with the distillery for that, because the whiskey can only ever be the same age as me. So 1997 they opened their visitor centre, Her Majesty helped open it, and in 98 they produced their first whiskey. And I believe Ewan McGregor, the film star, known for Trainspotting, Obi-Wan Kenobi and the new Star Wars, but we won't go into too much of that because the new Star Wars aren't that great. And also Moulin Rouge. I don't know why I know that, but maybe the red the red box is giving me subliminal messages for Moulin Rouge. But yeah, he's got a cask and it's quietly maturing in the warehouse. That lucky guy. I think that's probably enough about the distillery itself, about Arran. I don't think there's anything more to go into, so we'll talk about the whiskey. It's 50% ABV, non-chill filtered, no added colouring. It doesn't give us an age, which isn't too much of an issue at the moment. It says limited edition, but yeah, we'll get into the nose, the palate, and the finish. It's a little sour on the nose. There's a white grape, plums, some dark red fruits, and a little chocolate, possibly dark chocolate. There's also some hazelnut, and that makes me think of Nutella, just because of the chocolate, tying it in with the chocolate. But yeah, that's all you're really getting on the nose. Not too much, nothing to cheer about, nothing to stand up and shout about. The palate. So the palate is a contrast to the nose in the terms of it's a lot better. It's more of a redeeming. It's redeemed itself in the palate. It's oily. There's more grapes. I think the grapes is going to be a consistent flavour throughout. There's a sour tanginess about it, possibly something like citrus skins or citrus peels. There's a bit more dark chocolate, kind of bitter chocolate there. honeyed malt for sure. There's something, yeah, there's something malty, something honey, so I can only describe it as honeyed malt. The nuttiness is there again. It's hard to say it's hazelnut. I'm only alluding to hazelnut because of the dark chocolate, because of the chocolate. So there's a nuttiness, but I wouldn't want to confirm it's hazelnut. We'll just say a nuttiness. Yeah, the palate's a lot more enjoyable than the nose for sure. The finish. The finish is long. It's what you'd expect from a 50% ABV whiskey. There's figs, plums, there's a little bit of smoke. It's very subtle, it's hard to pick up. However, it's there, it's just in the background, and I think it's enough to mention. Yeah, it's very subtle. It's a nice whiskey. It's enjoyable enough. But it's a whiskey bin. It's whether the cask is tired or whether it's not had enough time to mature in the cask, the flavours that I was expecting just aren't strong enough. There are dark fruits, definitely red fruits. There's plum, there's figs, there's even as far as say the chocolate and the grapes. Almost sherry-like. I mean, the flavours are there, however, I just don't think they're strong enough. Or not strong enough to almost label onto the box, label onto the whiskey itself, to say that it's bold, it's a cask finish, it's a Cote-Rotie finish, it's limited edition, deep flavours of spiced fruits, sweet cherries and rich chocolate reveal the beautiful complexity in the pairing of the Cote-Rotie cask and the Arran malt. I mean, the flavours are there. I wouldn't say they're deep flavours, I'd say they're just there. I really wanted to go into this liking it. It's only £45 to £50 a bottle, so it's quite cheap. But however, there's cheaper or the same price whiskies that are better. For me, this just doesn't hit the mark. I think it needs longer in the cask, or it needs a better cask. There's something not quite right there. So sorry to go on a low note, but it's a whiskey bin. Thanks for watching. I've been Stuart. This has been Whiskey Whims. I'll see you later.